Shalom Akim, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Okakadash, the honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Brimstone Rule. Well, this brother Nash DC Camp, another short lesson to edify the hopeful elect, spread out throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the gospel of Mashiach Yahweh Shai with diligence of mind. Alright, so I just got a brief lesson to share the Akim because it's really necessary to understand that you made your body, to be a living sacrifice, and it comes with a price, and that's the, situation you have to be aware of when you come to serve the Lord. You have to count the cost, all right, because you're putting your life on the line, just like Hamashiach Yahweh Shai did. So understand, man, you're offering yourself up, as collateral for this service. So I'm going to read from the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 34. So it says, "Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died." All right. Yea, rather, is risen again. Who is even at the right hand of the Most High Yahweh, who also maketh intercession for us. And that's what the Lord Yahweh Shai is doing. Ever since, he made himself a living sacrifice and sitting on the right hand of the Most High Yahweh, he's been praying on our behalf. He's been interceding on our behalf that we will make it, right? That we will be saved in these last days, right? Then verse 35 says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword?" And that's the time we're living in, all right? That's what the scripture says, all right? Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? All right, so you have to get your mind accustomed to what you have to deal with, because it just spelled out the cost. What you have to encounter when you come to serve the Lord: tribulation, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, and sword. That's how you have to make it through the kingdom, man. You gotta go through these obstacles, this trial of your faith, all right? Verse 36, "As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter." So always remember that, man. You are counted as sheep for the slaughter. So always remember, you have the Lord's pasture. You are looked at, you are viewed as sheep for the slaughter. So always remember that. And that's how the elite look at the men of the Lord as, man. That they gotta move on the men of the Lord. They have to, devise plans of how they could, take our lives. So always remember that, you are counted as a sheep for the slaughter, one whose life can easily be taken and one whose life is destined to be taken. That's what these elites always view the men of the Lord as. That's why they want to come against the men of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, preaching the gospel. Right? They're always scheming how they could, shed our blood. So, there's no surprise, just like the Lord Yahweh Shai already explained to us. You just have to accept it, all right? So when you go against this system, preaching the gospel of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, always know that Esau is pissed and is angry and is upset. So he has to hurry up and come with that, come with a sword, just like you read Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Alright, it says, "Oh Lord, Abashimashai, disappoint him." Disappoint him. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Alright? Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, Shema Shabbat, Shema Kakadash. Disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Alright? So the time of Esau being cast down is now. See, they're upset that the election is slipping out of the grasp of the beloved president, Mr. Trump. All right, so they're nervous. They're so stressed out, man. All right, they're out there protesting, and then you hear on the news about the two folks that they had to apprehend, that they were armed with ammunition and some weapons or whatever. So it's just the time we're living in, man. Folks are getting off their marbles, all right? Then another precept is going to be from the book of John chapter 6. I'm going to read from verse 39 all the way to 40, all right? So it says, and this is the will of him that sent me. This is what Yahushua is saying, okay? That everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. All right, that's what it boils down to. So when times are hard for you, and it looks as if you're about to be slaughtered, for being a witness, for being a martyr of Hamashiach Yahushua, carrying this gospel, preaching this gospel. Always remember, Yahushua says he will raise you up at the last day. All right. And then, in fact, let me read verse 39. All right, John chapter 6, verse 39. And this is the Father's will, which had sent me, that of all which he had given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. So the flock of Yahushua HaMashiach has already been accounted for, and it's not going to lose any one of them. That's why he's called the Good Shepherd. All right, the Good Shepherd always know how much, his flock has when it comes to sheep. Make sure they graze properly. Make sure that when the wool is too much, he shaves it. Trims it. Waters. Everything that a shepherd does. That's what the Lord Yahushua has done, and is telling us to continue in that same footstep of his. All right. So I read again, John chapter 6, verse 39, and this is the Father's will, which had sent me, that of all which he had given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So the Lord Yahushua said it twice. All right. So always remember, you are on the right track once you hold on to the words of Hamashiach Yahushua. You are not going to lose your reward. All right. And that's what it boils down to. Okay. And then John chapter 5, verse 24 says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death into life. All right. So always remember that we're coming to the time of judgment. All right. Judgment is coming upon the face of the earth very soon, and the Lord Yahushua has already said that whosoever of the nation of Israel that believeth on him, that believeth that his name is Yahushua, and the Father's name is Yahweh, and believeth the gospel, all right, 100% truth, that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and that they're not going to bow down to the image of the beast, and they know that they're gonna, be translated, all right, from death unto life. All right, you're gonna be transformed. Your mind frame, your mindset is gonna be rejuvenated from the bottom of the barrel to a disciple, all right, to an apostle in the last days, and that's what it boils down to. All right, you're being moved from death to life. All right, from a state of ignorance. All right, from the valley of the shadow of death into a rulership position. That's what it boils down to. All right, there is no life for us here in Babylon. All we have is just the words of Hamashiach Yahushai. All right, and then when you read the book of Daniel, chapter 12, it clearly tells you. When you read verse 2 and verse 3, it says, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake." All right, so when you pass from death unto life, all right, some to everlasting life, that's for the elect, some to shame, all right, those are the enemies of our nation, and then everlasting contempt. Okay, that's for 2/3. All right, and that's for the Edomites too, man. All right, everlasting contempt. That's for Esau. All right, Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake." All right, some to everlasting life. All right, the elect and 1/3, spirit through the four corners of the earth, and some to shame. That's the heathen, including 2/3. All right, and everlasting contempt. That's for the Edomites. All right, because the Edomites have no form of salvation, slated for them. And verse 3 says, "And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever." And that's what the Lord Yahweh Shai has already put in place for us. His servants that preach his words on the highways and byways. And then another precept I would like to read out is from the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13. I'm going to read verses 12 and 13. It says, Afterward saw I the same man." Right, Ezra's talking about Yahushua. "Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude." All right, "and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and some brought off them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said." All right, and this is exactly what the Lord Shemashah is about to do in the last day. All right, the peaceable multitude, it says, some were glad and some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and some of them were brought of them that were offered. All right, so the elect are going to be glad in the last day. That's the reason why we're going to sing that new song. All right, we're going to sing that new song and sing that new song and sing that new song. All right, all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai Ba'ashem Kwakadash. Kal Halayim La Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai Ba'ashem Kwakadash. All right, and then you read from the book of John chapter 10. It tells you this when you read from 27 to 30. It says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." All right, "And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. And that's exactly what the Lord Yahushua is describing. Okay? So that's the point that I came. I pray, you've been edified, and I pray the Lord Yahushua continue to bless and guide you. And then John chapter 10 verse 30 says, I and my Father are one. All right? They're in one accord, in one mind, they're in agreement. And that's what it boils down to. And the sheep are in agreement with Hamashiach Yahushua. All right? And that's what Lord Yahushua is expecting us to be in one accord with the shepherd Yahushua. All right? So I pray, you've been edified. I pray, Lord Yahushua continue to strengthen you and make you worthy to continue in the faith, despite the turmoil that you're gonna be experiencing. All right, stay firm, stay strong. Shalom.